Welcome back to the deep dive. Okay, so if you're learning English and maybe you feel like you're just drowning in textbooks or vocabulary lists that never quite stick,
Yeah, that feeling is super common.
well, this deep dive might just be your lifeline. Our mission today, it's pretty simple, but potentially transformative. We're looking for that shortcut to English fluency.
And we're basing this on a collection of sources, these fast hacks from Teacher Sam.
Exactly. And what's really interesting from the get-go.
It kind of challenges the usual advice, right?
Totally. The core idea we pulled is that fluency, well, it isn't really about how much talent you have or even just raw hours logged studying.
It seems to hinge almost entirely on just two things, consistency
Yep.
and, well, courage.
Right. So what you, the listener, probably need are actionable strategies, things you can actually do to cut through all that information overload.
And maybe stop chasing that, impossible goal of sounding perfect from day one.
Absolutely. So we're distilling the 10 most powerful methods we found, the goal, to train your brain not just to study English, but to actually think and live in it.
Okay, let's dive in. Where do we start?
Let's start with the foundation, the non-negotiables. So the biggest hurdle for lots of people, I think, is this myth that you need like 5 hours a day to get fluent.
Which is just exhausting.
Yeah.
And who can keep that up, really?
Exactly. So hack number one that the source brings up is called the 1 hour a day rule. And it really stresses consistency over, intensity.
The analogy they used, I thought it was great, was the gym.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get strong lifting weights for 5 hours just once a week. You build strength by training, a little bit every single day.
Makes sense.
So when you commit to that daily practice, even if it feels short, your brain stays switched on, stays in English mode.
Right, which apparently speeds up how you process things, makes those connections faster.
It keeps the pathways warm.
So what does this power hour actually look like? The key thing is it has to be focus time, like no scrolling your phone while listening.
No multitasking.
Yeah.
Crucial. And the sources break it down pretty strictly. 20 minutes listening, maybe a podcast, maybe YouTube.
Right.
Then 20 minutes speaking practice. That could be shadowing, like we'll maybe discuss later, or just talking to yourself. And the final 20 minutes, active reading or writing, maybe journaling, reading an article.
Got it. So that structure gives you the consistency. But okay, if you're only doing an hour, how do you make sure stuff actually sticks?
Good question. Because we all know that feeling of learning something and then poof, it's gone.
Right. The next day, it's like, did I even learn that?
That's where hack number 9 comes in. It's called active recall and spaced repetition.
Okay, this is based on memory science, right?
Yeah.
The brain just naturally forgets stuff pretty quickly if you don't review it.
Exactly. So consistency isn't enough on its own if you're not reviewing effectively. So the secret sauce is knowing when to review. The sources suggest using tools, maybe Anki, Quizlet, or even just, old school flashcards, and sticking to a very specific schedule. It's backed by research, review after 1 day, then 3 days, then 7 days.
And then a month later, right?
Yeah, a month later. That spacing is key.
But it's not just looking at the words again, is it? There's a distinction.
Crucial distinction. It has to be active recall. You have to test yourself.
So force your brain to retrieve the information.
Exactly. The material suggests asking yourself questions like, okay, can I remember those 10 phrases I learned yesterday without looking at my notes?
Okay. That effort, that retrieval, that's what makes the memory stronger.
That's what locks it in. Passive reading just doesn't cut it.
Okay, so we've got consistency, we've got memory hacks. Let's pivot a bit to the actual mechanics of speaking. How fluent speakers really operate.
Because they think differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not word by word translation happening in their heads.
Not at all. And that leads right into hack number 2, learn phrases, not just single words.
This is huge. If you only memorize isolated words, like just the verb, your brain then has this extra step of trying to string them together naturally.
And often fails, leading to that kind of slightly robotic sound.
Exactly. That hesitation, that unnatural construction.
So the sources talk about learning chunks or collocations, I think is the technical term.
Right. Patterns that native speakers use automatically. So you don't just learn break, you learn the whole chunk. Take a break.
Or not just decision, but make a decision.
Yeah. Or catch up on emails, run errands, things like that.
And the benefit is pretty much instant, right? Your sentences just flow better.
Totally. They sound smoother, faster, much more natural. The sources gave an example, like instead of saying, I study English every day, which is fine, but
A bit textbooky.
yeah.
Yeah.
A native speaker might say something more like, I keep up with my English,
Yeah.
or I'm working on improving my English. It just sounds
More fluid, less like you're reciting.
exactly fluid, not just functional.
Okay. Okay, so if we want that natural rhythm, that pronunciation, then hack number 3 seems essential. Shadow native speakers.
Ah, shadowing.
Yeah. What exactly does that involve? It sounds kind of simple.
It sounds simple, but it's really powerful. Basically, you listen to a native speaker and you repeat what they say immediately after them, like their shadow.
Okay.
But you're not just copying the words. You're trying to mimic everything, their tone, the ups and downs, the rhythm, even the emotion if you can catch it.
So you're training your mouth muscles, basically.
And your ears to work together. It gets you out of your head.
And the practical tip was to use short clips, like not a whole movie at once.
Right, maybe just 1 to 3 minutes. A scene from a movie you like, or a bit of a TED Talk. Listen once for understanding.
Then play it again and speak along.
Exactly. And the pro tip they mentioned, record yourself doing it.
Ooh, brave.
Huh.
But I guess that's how you catch the differences, right? Where your rhythm is off compared to the original speaker.
Precisely. It provides that instant feedback loop. It helps you stop just thinking about English rules and start actually feeling the flow of the language.
Feeling it. I like that. Which kind of connects to the next mindset shift, hack number 6, learn like a child.
Yes. This one's about overcoming that internal editor, that adult fear of making mistakes.
Because kids, they're fearless learners, aren't they?
Totally fearless. They don't care about perfect grammar. They just want to communicate, get their point across.
So the advice is, stop trying to translate every single word in your head.
Exactly. Just listen more.
Yeah.
Focus on understanding the gist, the overall meaning.
Like the example they gave, you hear, how's it going? You don't break it down word by word. How is I going?
Right. You train yourself to instantly recognize it means, how are you? And you just respond naturally.
So prioritize listening and flow over analyzing every little grammatical detail. All right, so we've covered consistency, memory, the mechanics of speaking. But what about confidence? That fear of actually opening your mouth?
Ah, yes, the fear factor. It's a big one. If that's your main block, the sources have this technique. It sounds a bit quirky, maybe. Hack number 5, the mirror method.
The mirror method. Okay, tell me more.
It's basically talking to yourself in English
Yeah.
in front of a mirror
Okay.
for maybe 3 to 5 minutes every day.
Okay.
And the key is you have to maintain eye contact with your reflection.
Huh. I can see how that might feel awkward at first, standing there talking to yourself.
A little bit, yeah.
But I immediately get the benefit. You're practicing speaking, building that confidence, but without any pressure. No one's judging you.
Exactly. It's a safe space.
Yeah.
And it also trains your brain to actually formulate thoughts directly in English when there's no stress.
Which ties perfectly into hack number 8, doesn't it? Focus on speaking, not perfection.
Absolutely. This is almost like the core motivational truth of the whole thing. Perfectionism kills progress. It really does.
Fluency isn't about never making mistakes.
Not at all. It's about being fearless enough to speak anyway.
Mm.
So many learners get stuck because they're terrified of sounding silly or making a grammar error.
They freeze up. But what should you do in that moment when you're talking to someone and you just blank on a word?
Yeah, that happens to everyone, even native speakers.
Mhm.
The sources say, don't panic. Don't just stop talking.
Keep the conversation going.
Yes, use natural conversation fillers. Things like, oh, sorry, what's the word for? Or even just, or how do you say?
Ah, okay. So using those fillers is actually better than just dead silence.
Much better. It shows you're still engaged, you're trying. It keeps the communication flowing, which is the whole point.
Okay, good tips. So let's wrap up this section with immersion. We've got hack number 4, turn entertainment into education. Oh, hack 7, create an English environment.
Right, making it fun and unavoidable. Learning has to be enjoyable, otherwise you won't stick with it.
So for entertainment, the idea is watch stuff you like, maybe a movie scene.
Yeah, watch it first with subtitles in your language, maybe. Then watch it again with English subtitles, or none at all.
And actually repeat the lines like the actors.
Yes, because when you attach an emotion to a phrase like, you hear a character yell, "No way," excitedly, and you repeat it with that same excitement.
You remember it better because of the feeling.
Exactly. Emotional connection aids memory. Think of iconic lines from shows like Friends, How You Doing? Or
Yeah.
remember the context.
Got it. And for creating the environment, hack 7, that's about changing your surroundings.
Simple, practical stuff. Change your phone language to English. Change your app settings. Follow English-speaking creators on social media.
And the one I really liked was labeling things around your house.
Oh, yeah, putting little sticky notes on things. Mirror, door, window, notebook.
So you see the word door every time you see the actual door.
Right. It forces your brain to link the English word directly to the object, skipping that translation step in your head. You're just absorbing it passively through exposure. Okay, so we've gathered all these great hacks: consistency, memory, phrases, shadowing, confidence boosters, immersion. But how do you keep it going long term?
Yeah, because let's be real, motivation waxes and wanes. You'll have days you feel lazy or like you're hitting a plateau.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the final hack, number 10. Surround yourself with motivation.
So acknowledging that fatigue will happen.
Yes, fast learners don't just rely on willpower. They actively cultivate inspiration.
What does that look like practically?
Well, it could be joining an online English club, finding a language exchange partner so you have accountability.
Or even just like writing your big goal down and sticking it on the wall.
Exactly. Having that visible reminder, I will speak English confidently by December 2025 or whatever your goal is. It keeps your why front and center.
Fuel for the tough days.
Right. And celebrating the small wins, too. Don't wait until you're perfectly fluent. Acknowledge the progress you're making each week. It reminds you that every mistake is just proof you're trying, you're learning.
I like that perspective. And the sources also had some extra tips, right, for people who want to go even faster. These genius suggestions.
Ah, yes, the bonus round. These are habits of really efficient learners.
Like what?
Things like waking up your brain with English, maybe listen to a short podcast first thing in the morning, even just 5 minutes to set the tone for the day.
Get your brain into English mode right away.
Yeah. And creating English-only zones or times.
Yeah.
Maybe during breakfast or when you're commuting, you commit to only thinking, listening, or maybe even speaking in English if possible.
And using social media better, not just endless scrolling.
Right. Use it actively. Leave comments in English on posts you find interesting. Follow creators who teach English or just post in English. Make that passive time a bit more productive.
And the one about teaching what you learn, that sounds powerful for memory.
It really is. You don't need to be a formal teacher. Just explaining a new phrase or grammar point you learned to a friend, or even just saying it out loud to yourself as if you were explaining it.
Forces you to understand it more deeply.
Precisely. It solidifies the knowledge way better than just passively consuming it.
And finally, setting small, manageable weekly goals.
Yes. Instead of this vague goal of become fluent, aim for something concrete. Learn 10 new phrases this week, or speak for 3 minutes straight using the PURE method every day next week.
Breaking it down makes it less daunting.
And builds momentum. Success builds on success. So yeah, the overall message across all these sources seems clear. Rapid progress boils down to consistent, courageous action.
So wrapping this deep dive up, it feels like Teacher Sam's fast hacks really show that every minute you spend studying can be productive if you use the right strategies.
Yeah, focusing on phrases, using active recall, being consistent, shadowing. Yeah. It makes your learning efficient.
And it connects it more deeply to real life, not just abstract rules.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The big benefit, ultimately, is that you stop treating English like a school subject you have to endure.
And you start actually living it, using it.
Right. And that's what opens doors, isn't it? To better careers, travel, new connections, understanding different cultures. Fluency isn't some far-off dream.
It's more like a daily decision, built on these small, smart actions.
Well put. A daily decision.
So, okay, what does this all mean for you listening right now? The sources really push this idea. Don't just listen to this and nod along. Apply it.
Take action.
Yeah. So here's the challenge. Choose one hack, just one thing from this whole deep dive. Maybe it's the mirror method. Maybe it's committing to that 1-hour rule strictly. Maybe you start shadowing a 2-minute clip today.
Just pick one and do it.
Commit to it for, say, the next 7 days. See what happens. How quickly could your English start to transform, really, once you make that single, focused, daily decision?
That's a powerful question to consider.
Go ahead, take that step,
Yeah.
and speak with courage.